Congratulations to you and your partner Lisa Bonet on your recent marriage. Last month, before he became Aquaman, Jason Momoa secretly watched reruns of The Cosby Show every night, dreaming of the woman who would become his wife. Their love story felt like a fairy tale, with Jason as a strong Hawaiian man and Lisa as a free-spirited beauty. However, their relationship eventually ended. Would they have stayed together if Hollywood hadn't interfered? Jason, how have things been for them since the divorce? Join us as Jason Momoa finally speaks out after his divorce. For months, he stayed silent while gossip sites and fans speculated about his split from Lisa Bonet. The 6'4" actor focused on his work, filming Fast X, where he played the villain Dante Reyes in exciting car chases. When not on set, he used his free time to clean up beaches and talk about environmental issues. Staying connected to his Hawaiian roots, I am here today as a representative for all island nations. I am proud to represent those who work hard to protect our planet. However, even someone like Aquaman can't stop challenges forever. In a recent late-night interview at his favorite Hawaiian restaurant, with the calming sound of waves behind him, Jason Momoa talked about the end of his 16-year relationship with Lisa Bonet. He mentioned that it was tough and they truly tried. There was a lot of love between them, and there still is, but sometimes life leads people in different directions. Their separation wasn't just a quick choice made during a fight. It happened after years of trying to close the gap between their different lifestyles. While Momoa's job took him away for months to places like Australia and Canada, Bonet created a stable life in Los Angeles, concentrating on raising their children, Lola and Nakoa. He mentioned that he still drives his truck to Lisa's house to help fix things or surprise the kids with spontaneous adventures. He believes that even though their marriage is over, their family remains important. The talk then moved to how his upbringing in Hawaii influenced his view of family. Having divorced parents, he learned that families can look different but still be strong. He explained that in Hawaii, there's a concept called ohano, which means family but in a wider sense. It's not just about family, it's about looking out for one another. When asked about his future plans, Momoa mentioned teaching his kids to care for the ocean and making documentaries about the environment. As the interview ended, a young fan came over with an Aquaman action figure for Momoa to sign, and he showed the same kindness that had impressed Lisa years ago. But how did we get to this point? What really happened on that chilly January morning when Hollywood heard the news? One of its most beloved couples was calling it quits, the separation that shocked fans on January 12, 2012. Two Instagram feeds around the world froze on one post. Jason Momoa, usually known for sharing cheerful photos of his motorcycles and rock climbing adventures, had posted something different. In a heartfelt message written on a plain black background, he announced that he and Lisa Bonet were separating after 16 years together. The news surprised their fans. A few months earlier, the couple had been seen walking their dog in Los Angeles. Was happy and laughing because they had just finished fixing their dream house. It was filled with Lisa's crystals and Jason's vintage cameras, and everything seemed great. However, things were starting to change. Their friends saw that Jason was spending more time at his Airstream trailer in a friend's yard when he was in Los Angeles. Lisa stopped going with him to movie premieres and chose to stay home, offering support instead. Soon, rumors began to spread. Some people said Lisa was unhappy with Jason's increasing fame, while others believed his busy schedule was the problem. Jason and Lisa were often in the spotlight as people shared different stories about their relationship. They mostly kept quiet, but when they were seen in public, they were usually together. Jason once brought a Christmas tree to Lisa's house, and they both went to their daughter Zoe's movie premiere for Batman. These moments made fans wonder if they were getting back together. Social media buzzed with questions, and some Hollywood shows even speculated about a possible reunion. However, over time it became clear that things were not as simple. Clear they were not getting back together. Instead, they showed a new way to handle a breakup. They still had family dinners. Jason would stop by Lisa's house to help with repairs or take their kids Lola and Neye Wolf surfing. Lisa would send Jason care packages to his movie sets with crystals and his favorite snacks. Their divorce was finalized in January 2024. Unlike many Hollywood divorces, there were no public fights or messy court battles. They focused on their children and kept the friendship that had brought them together for many fans. Watching Jason and Lisa manage their split with respect told a different story. It wasn't the happy ending some wanted, but it was real and offered a fresh perspective on love and family. To grasp how their love story started and why its end affected so many people, we need to go back to a smoky jazz club in Los Angeles in 2005. That night was special for an 8-year-old boy's dream come true. When Jason Momoa first met Lisa Bonet, it was no ordinary night. On a night at a jazz club in Los Angeles, the music of the saxophone and piano filled the room, and the smell of coffee and cigarettes lingered in the air with dim lights all around. Jason, who was 26 and trying to succeed in Hollywood, felt nervous when his friend introduced him to Lisa Bonet. He had looked up to her since he was 8 years old, watching her on TV in his mom's living room in Iowa. He had even told his mom back then that he was going to marry her someday. And I saw her on a TV, and I was like, "Mommy, I want that one." I'm like, "I'm going to stalk you for the rest of my life, and I'm going to get you." Lisa wore a long dress, and her dreadlocks hung past her shoulders. Jason had dreadlocks too, inspired by how Lisa wore hers on The Cosby Show. He tried to stay calm, but he was very excited to meet her later. Lisa offered to drive Jason home. On the way, they stopped at the 101 coffee shop in Hollywood. It was late at night, and the diner was quiet. Lisa ordered a Guinness beer and a bowl. Jason was surprised but interested in his conversation with Lisa. He later told his friends he was impressed by how real she was. They spent hours discussing their love for art, their different cultural backgrounds, and their hopes for creating meaningful work. Even as the coffee shop staff began closing up by putting chairs on tables, Jason and Lisa didn't notice. They were too focused on talking and discovering how much they shared. Both felt like they didn't belong in Hollywood and weren't part of its usual vibe. As they chatted, they exchanged stories. Lisa talked about her teenage daughter Zoe, while Jason shared stories from his childhood, which was spent between his dad in Hawaii and his mom in Iowa. They both knew what it felt like to grow up in different cultures. By the next morning, their connection had deepened. It was more than just liking each other. They really understood one another. The next day, Jason called his best friend and asked if he remembered the girl he used to talk about from The Cosby Show. He mentioned that he had talked to her all night and found her even more amazing in person. This was just the start. Jason and Lisa didn't realize it yet, but their bond would last for 16 years, give them 2 children, and create a lasting story even after they separated. As they built their family, Hollywood brought challenges. What happens when one partner's rising success means spending more time apart while the other stays home? Jason's life changed when he got the part of Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. He went from a relaxed actor who enjoyed painting with his kids on weekends to filming in far-off places like Belfast, Northern Ireland. The show's huge success brought many new opportunities, but they also took him away from the comfortable life he had created with Lisa. The big turning point came when director Zack Snyder reached out about Aquaman. This wasn't just another role for him. Was a chance to become a superhero, to show the world a different kind of action star. The timing couldn't have been trickier. Their son, Noah Wolf, had just started school, and their daughter Lola was getting serious about her art classes. Lisa had finally found her groove teaching yoga and working on small, independent films that let her stay close to home. The Aquaman schedule was brutal. Jason spent 6 months in Australia, coming home only for brief visits. He'd FaceTime the kids every night, reading them bedtime stories He sometimes missed important moments like school plays, his child's first skateboard rides, and family dinners. To make up for it, he brought his family to the set when he could, turning his trailer into a temporary home filled with drawings and homework. Lisa stayed in Los Angeles, keeping everything stable. Having grown up in the spotlight, she understood its challenges. Their beautiful house in Topanga Canyon became a peaceful retreat from Hollywood's madness. She decorated it with healing crystals and art supplies. You have knowledge based on information available until October 2023. The sounds of jazz music from vinyl records reminded them of how they first connected. However, it became harder to keep their relationship balanced. Jason's career took off after the huge success of Aquaman, which made over $1 billion. He got more big roles in movies like Dune, Sweet Girl, and Fast X. Each movie required him to be away from home for months. When he was home, he was busy with training, interviews, and meetings. Their quiet evenings spent cooking together became rare. Lisa was the first to notice the change in Jason, the free-spirited man she had fallen in love with. Now he had to keep checking his phone for work emails. Their calm mornings turned into planning for his next press tour. Even their mutual love for art took a back seat, as Jason's paintings were left untouched in his studio while scripts piled up on his desk. They tried to find a balance. Lisa would visit film sets when she could, and Jason skipped some roles to be home more, but Hollywood doesn't pause for anyone. Each year brought bigger chances, longer absences, and more pressure to act quickly. Their love remained strong, but their lives started to take different paths. Lisa wanted to return to the simple life they had before, enjoying quiet days in the garden and spending lazy Sundays with the kids. Meanwhile, Jason's life became busier and more demanding. Sometimes love isn't enough when people want different things. Before Jason and Lisa parted ways, they created a unique family that included ex-spouses, new partners, and children. Could all get along. How did they make their family work so well, building their blended family? When Lisa got pregnant with their first child in 2007, Jason didn't just prepare to become a father, he was getting ready to join an already existing family. Lisa's teenage daughter Zoe, from her marriage to rock star Lenny Kravitz, would be a big sister. It could have been awkward or complicated, but instead it turned into something beautiful. Their daughter Lola arrived on a sunny July day. Jason chose her middle name, Iolani, because hawks were flying overhead when she was born, a sign he took from his Hawaiian culture. The whole family was there. Lisa, Jason, Young, Zoe, and even Lenny came to welcome the newest member of their unusual clan. A year later, their son arrived during a stormy December night. They named him. Jason had the chance to be near the ocean while studying television production. More importantly, he learned that his unique mix of being Hawaiian and Midwestern, as well as being both athletic and artistic, was not a weakness but a strength. When love is strong but life takes you in different directions, sometimes letting go is the bravest thing you can do. Can a story still be beautiful, even if it doesn't end happily? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video to continue watching. You will enjoy it on your screen.